Hey guys, what's up? It's Legion of Gaming here. Today we're going to be getting started on a brand new Let's Play here on the channel of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
Alright, so we are going to go ahead and just do this with the regular Shepard here.
Please log
Gonna
in
be doing
to
a
access
mail.
your profile.
Since I am terrible with the names right now, we're just gonna stick with good old John Shepard.
Warning, data corruption detected. Please reconstruct profile. Confirm pre-service history.
So for this pre-service history and for your psychological profile, that is going to be the next thing you pick. These are things that will stick with you for the rest of the trilogy, for the rest of the 3 games. So you have Spacer, Colonist, and Earthborn. I'll go ahead and hover there so that you guys can pause the screen and read it if you so desire. So, since we are going to be doing a Paragon playthrough, I am going to be doing Spacer as opposed to the Colonist or the Earthborn.
Confirm psychological profile.
For your psychological profile, each of them will affect your Paragon or Renegade score, which, for those of you who don't know, Paragon is the nice guy route, as most people would describe it. Renegade is more the, hey, we're not going to take any stuff from anybody and we're going to do whatever the heck we want and just be, you know, Rambo all by ourselves. So if you pick the Soul Survivor or Ruthless, that will give you a boost to your Renegade, and War Hero will give you a boost to Paragon.
Confirm military specialization.
Then here, as you can see, we have the different classes. You do not get any additional classes throughout the games, so these are the ones that you are going to be, you know, using and choosing from each of the games. Each one obviously has its strengths and weaknesses. I personally prefer the Infiltrator, Engineer, and Soldier the most, but you go ahead and pick whichever one is best for you. With each game, the skills did kind of get changed up a little bit, but really it kind of doesn't matter which one you're doing, because you can go and change it in the next one if you don't like it, or obviously just start a new game if you start playing and you don't like it. But let's go ahead and get this started. If you have already done a playthrough, then you will get to select a bonus talent from the talents that you have unlocked with your squad mates throughout your playthrough. So for this, I am going to do Singularity.
Confirm facial identification.
And like I said, we're just going to leave default appearance here.
Profile reconstruction complete.
And we're going to go ahead and listen to the opening cutscene once we get this set on up.
Identification confirmed.
We will be doing Insanity difficulty here, so I did turn the auto level up off for squad mates. If it is your first playthrough, you can leave it on and allow the computer to level up your squad mates as it thinks you should. Going to be doing Legendary for level scaling, so max level should be 30 as opposed to 60. And we're going to put the squad power usage on defensive. If they are messing up and using it when I don't want to, then I can always just go and hit none. That way they will only use their abilities when we want them to. And I'm going to leave the tutorials on so that way we can let you guys who are playing for the first time see what's going on. But let's go ahead and get into the opening cutscene.
Well, what about Shepard? He's a spacer, lived aboard starships most of his life.
Military service runs in the family. Both his parents were in the Navy.
He proved himself during the Blitz. Held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
He's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question his courage.
Humanity needs a hero. And Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was force-controlled by the very fabric of space-time. Called greatest discovery in human history, the civilizations called it Mass Effect.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. The board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment, so you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
Alright, so just a quick breakdown on the dialogue. This was BioWare's kind of first foray into creating their own intellectual content when it comes to a video game. They had done other things before, like with Baldur's Gate and similar games like that, as well as Knights of the Old Republic, where they were already using other people's ideas and their lore. But this was their kind of first attempt at, world building, basically. And so how they kind of broke it down in terms of your dialogue wheel here is usually your top option here is going to be that Paragon, which is what we are going to be playing through as. Middle is just going to be neutral, so you're not going to gain or lose really any points to Paragon or Renegade. And then obviously the bottom is going to be the Renegade. And options that are over here on the left side of the wheel will typically just provide you more information about what's going on or what have you. Your mission, the current conversation, or like the person's culture who you happen to be talking to. But let's go ahead and get on.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting up.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
Is he upset?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
Alright, so you guys see over there we just had some codex, journal, that sort of stuff all pop up over here. So as you can see, we are being told to press escape to get to your mission computer, or really the in-game menu. So you can see anytime you get a new codex, it's going to light up and be flashing like it is. Same thing with if you have points available to level up, or if you have a new quest, as well as equipment This side will usually not do anything. If you are in combat, you will not be able to save. But the primary codexes are all narrated, so if you want to sit there and listen to those, you can. And the secondary, you will have to read for yourself. I will not make you guys sit here and listen to me read all of this. So I'm just going to show you the journal. Anything under this mission tab is basically going to be the main quest, and assignments will be like side content that is optional. Then for the squad level ups here, it's just telling you how you can go and level up. The dots here is when you're going to unlock something. The little up arrows here is when you're going to be upgrading the ability that you are going down the path for. So with us being an infiltrator, you can see we have pistols and sniper rifles, and then we can eventually work our way up to wear medium armor. So we can wear light or medium armor. The only classes that can wear heavy armor is the soldier. But what I'm going to be prioritizing typically for my playthroughs is electronics, decryption, and the charm. Since we are doing a paragon, if we were doing renegade, you would want to do intimidate. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these 3 points into here, and that is just because having max paragon or renegade is going to help you pass speech checks, which speech checks will give you more experience. And then the electronics and the decryption is kind of like lockpicking in this game, and it'll just allow you to continue to gain experience from opening up those containers. Now, whenever you go and talk to anyone, you can get those codex updates, and that will also give you more information, and it will get you more experience. So we're going to go ahead and see what Presley here is talking about.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
I heard you arguing.
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
What do you mean?
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
All we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system. Why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
So like I was talking about earlier, this left side is going to go and allow you to continue to investigate, so you can ask more about the ship, and Nihilus, who was on the bridge there with us, and Captain Anderson, who we heard over the intercom.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper. Less chance of security leaks, too. Plus, there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
A cover for what?
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Tell me about the Turian Spectre, Nihilus.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
That was a long time ago.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board. Especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
What about Captain Anderson?
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, sir. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
We'll look into it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
So you see, we got codex updates and we got a little bit of experience there. So for the most part, you do want to try to explore, at least in this game, all the dialogue options.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
You watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
So our objective there is the flashing little flag that you see there, but we're going to go ahead and talk to Dr. Chakwas and Corporal Jenkins here to see if they can tell us anything else about what's going on right now.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Relax, Jenkins.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool, even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
You'll do fine.
This is like every other assignment you've had, and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself in the Blitz. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
Be careful.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, sir. I'm not going to screw this up.
We're going to go ahead and keep investigating again to see what all we can find out about where we're going in this mission that we're on right now.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I hope we get a chance to see him in action. I heard Nihilus took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself.
What about the Spectres?
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
There are no human Spectres?
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're a war hero, right? Held off an entire enemy fleet during the Blitz single-handed? That's the kind of talent the Spectres are looking for.
This is all just wild speculation. The Spectres aren't interested in recruiting humans, no matter how capable.
What can you guys tell me about Eden Prime, Jenkins?
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Why would we be going there?
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of this conversation.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
So you see we got some Paragon, more experience, and more codex. This right here is the comm room, as indicated by our nav marker, so we're supposed to be meeting Captain Anderson, but all we see is Nihilus in here, so let's see what's going on here with this mission.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
Where's Captain Anderson at?
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
Beyond beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it, really?
Why are you asking?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I knew it.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
Why the secrecy?
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Prothean?
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped up. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Sorry about the dialogue skip there, guys, but why did we tell the Council?
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
I should have known.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
You put my name forward, Nihilus?
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
You support this, Captain?
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
So let's go ahead and see what else they can tell us about this. Tell us more about these Protheans you were talking about.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their Citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
Anything else you guys can tell me about Eden Prime?
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
What about the beacon?
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
What do you mean the wrong hands?
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Terminus systems?
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
I'm ready.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
So now we're going to get started on to the first part of this mission.
Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
He can count on us, Captain.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck.
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secured, Commander.
So we're going to take a look at some of the surroundings here.
Hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
So, as you can see here, I am sprinting. It's WAS and D to go and move you.
Don't worry, they're harmless.
We heard our buddy Nihilus there letting us know what was going on from his perspective. You're going to see containers like this so that you can go and get loot, so you can go and use the upgrades and things like that for your weapons or for your armor, and it will tell you what each upgrade is right here. And it'll tell you what it's for, if it's armor, ammo, whatever. It'll let you know. But we'll go ahead and put these squad points in. As you can see, it'll tell you what kind of abilities they have there. Caden is a sentinel and Jenkins is a soldier. With these soldiers, most of their abilities are going to center around weapons. I usually go ahead and level up their armor and their assault rifles first, just because I want them to be able to take as much damage as possible. For Caden, we are going to go ahead and show him how to do barrier, as well as put a point in decryption for him. And then I'm sure you saw on the screen, I was telling you can use the left mouse there to fire, the right mouse button to aim. We are a sniper, so we are going to be using pistols and sniper rifles primarily, but let's go ahead and get moving. you can hold shift. That's what I was holding to go and swap in between all your weapons here. You can use it also to hit your abilities. Wherever those little crosshairs are is where the abilities are going to shoot off. So be mindful that whenever you hit one of your squad mates' abilities in this game, as soon as you hit it, that is when it will go off. Yours may or may not take a second if you have to duck out from behind some cover or whatever. So you want to really make sure that you're aimed in on those abilities to maximize your damage. But let's keep on moving here. Well, that was interesting. Let's go ahead and shoot these little drones we got flying around there. They were called Geth Recon drones, so don't know what exactly they're doing here, but we had Richard Jenkins looking a lot more like Leroy Jenkins, his cousin there, just running in there like that.
Ripped right through his shields. They're out of chance.
We'll take care of him after we finish the mission.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, sir.
So we're just going to keep on moving forward here. So it's telling you about Metagel and electronics and decryption. The Metagel button, if you're on PC, is going to be V. You can see Caden there is missing some of his health. The Sentinel class does not regenerate any of their health at all unless they have a armor upgrade. So you will have to keep an eye on that to make sure that his health doesn't go down.
Buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
So just keep your eyes out for more of those containers, as well as more of these drones flying around. So if you want, you can shoot these little things that are flying around. If you want a little bit of target practice, here's a medical kit, so if you ever go and use Metagel, it will replenish, as you can see on the bottom right there. And then, in case you're wondering, you just need to hold the forward and space button to sprint. That right there looks like one of the people that was in that transmission we saw from the planet. So it seems like she's the only one that survived the conflict here. So let's get on over there and help her take out these robots. So you want to be going for these headshots basically, just because, as I'm sure you're seeing, whenever you fire, those red bars is letting you know that your weapon is going to overheat. If it overheats, you will have to wait until it cools back down to continue shooting. They did away with this in later games, but in this one, if you go into your equipment, it will basically tell you how long it takes it to cool down and how long it takes, like, how much you can shoot basically before it's going to overheat. But anyways, let's talk to Ashley Williams.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, sir?
Are you okay?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns, nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
What happened to your unit?
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
Don't blame yourself, Ashley.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, sir. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
Join us.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, sir. It's time for payback.
So here you have another opportunity to go and talk to someone and kind of figure out a little bit more about what's going on the ground. So let's go ahead and get some first-hand accounts of what was going on here.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
What about those scientists?
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
What was happening before the attack?
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre Nihilus around?
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
So we're gonna go ahead and get on moving.
Move out.
So you see we got more Paragon, more experience, codex, things like that. Whenever you gain a new squad mate, it will always tell you, hey, go on into your inventory there and figure out what you got that you can give them if they've got any points or anything. As you can see, we had some upgrades there. So we're going to go ahead and put this new armor on. The stimulant pack upgrade goes and reduces your cooldowns for all abilities by 5%. Then here we can go ahead and we have some ammo here for the ammo upgrades, but I'm not going to use any of those just yet. We're going to go ahead and put the points into Ashley the same way that we were doing with Jenkins and keep it on moving. So notice that white bar there is your sprint meter. If you drain it all the way, it is going to require you to wait, and it will say that you are fatigued. You can go up to here and it'll let you kind of post up on cover, and it'll make that little noise whenever you get a level up. We're gonna go ahead and swap over to our pistol here since we're getting a little closer. Gonna go ahead and use Overkill on Ashley. We're gonna use Sabotage on Caden, and we're gonna use our Overload. And as you can see, that takes the enemy down pretty quick. And as you can see, they deal quite a bit of damage to us. So since we are playing on that higher difficulty, we do want to be a little bit cautious, just bum rushing into things. Let's investigate this dig site right here.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Think anyone made it out of here?
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Well, let's get on up here to these
Change
ramps.
of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
So that's the fatigued that I was telling you guys about. Then when it fills back up, then you can start sprinting again.
Good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
Good place for an ambush indeed, Caden.
Oh God, they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
So as you can see, those things kind of look like, I like to call them space zombies. So you are going to be encountering them throughout the game. Whenever you see them charge up like that, that is going to take out your shields. As you can see, our shields are now down. So you really want to be careful to either take them out before they get over here like that, or when they start to get close, you can use that throw ability that Caden has to knock them down and keep them from getting too close, to buy you some space if you are not comfortable with just backing up while you're shooting. As you can see, we get credits and experience every time that we defeat enemies. Got a new sniper rifle. Basically, if it is not a sniper rifle or a pistol, I'm probably not going to be going in here to look at it. I typically prioritize the accuracy a little bit more over the damage, but since this one doesn't overheat as much, we are going to go ahead and swap on over to that. We still don't have any upgrades that I'm really interested in using. We'll go ahead and use those level ups that we got there. So gonna go ahead and do 3 points in electronics and 3 points in decryption. Now if you want, you can just prioritize these one at a time, but I find it's not too punishing to just go and do both of them at the same time. And then also you just want to keep pumping Caden's points so that he can get some of these abilities as well, so that you can knock down the shields of your enemies, especially on those higher levels of difficulty, so that way you can take the enemies down faster. And we're going to go ahead and put another point into barrier for him. Then for Ashley, we're going to keep pumping up this armor. She got that ability shield boost, so it helps her shields regenerate faster. And then we are going to go ahead and get her adrenaline burst, so that way she can have overkill and shield boost up immediately whenever we need her to. I'm going to check out these buildings here in the camp. Doesn't seem like anybody's in this one, but we'll notice that other one's locked and the blinds are down, so we're going to definitely check that one out. You see we got some Omnigel and some grenades. You can use the Omnigel for the decryption here, and this is why we put those points in, so that we are able to do this. It's very simple. It's kind of like a little mini game that they did away with in the other games, but you want to avoid the red and orange blocks. The orange is just going to have you sit there. The red ones will send you all the way out, and as you saw, there is a time limit. The higher the difficulty, the less time you have.
Humans, thank the Maker.
Hurry, close the door before they come back.
You're safe, it's okay.
Don't worry, we'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
What can you tell me about what happened during this attack?
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Did you happen to see a Turian walking around?
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack. That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
What about the beacon that was being moved?
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network, remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please, this isn't the time.
What's going on with your assistant here, Dr. Warren?
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape, no hope? No, I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
If you are playing through as a renegade, you can choose this dialogue option here to get a little boost of renegade, but we won't be doing that this playthrough.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
So you see we got some paragon there. We got a journal update. And let's go ahead and keep heading to the spaceport where Nihilus said he was going to meet us at. So there's that other Tyrion they were talking about seeing.
Saren. Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find a Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Well, we have our very first double cross of the series there.
What is that? Off in the distance.
And that would appear to be...
Look at the size of it.
The ship, as our astute squad mate Ashley just pointed out from the transmission. They appear to be getting out of here pretty quick. Let's go on down here and check on Nihilus since we heard that gunshot. Well, we see a body there and we see some more robots. Let's take them on out. And then we have some more space zombies here. Let's go ahead and hit them with some overloads to get their shields on down. And then if their shields are low, you can just hit them with the sabotage and that will do about the same thing. We'll go ahead and use that throw to keep him away from us. We are going to go ahead and use Caden's overload as well to knock down this one's shields. And there we go. We'll go ahead and get that. You guys will notice I'm not really looking too much at the equipment because you can look at it every once in a while and still be pretty fine even on these higher difficulties. Unless there's just something that you absolutely recognize as being ungodly amounts of good. So you can see here all of these grayed out ones. It will say human or whatever alien species you have if it is one like a Krogan. So that way it tells you who all is actually able to wear it. So we're going to go ahead and get on back into it. We got another lock we can get through here.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out. We're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
So we got some more survivors here. Let's see what else they can tell us real quick.
You're okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
What happened during the attack?
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
What about the beacon?
You know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
What about that ship you saw over the spaceport?
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
Was it a jamming signal?
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
Well, let's get on moving here.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You should come
You
clean.
have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
Smuggling's a crime, you know.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
We're not hurting anybody. Hell, most of the time I don't even know what's in the packages. Just thought there might be something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
Is that all?
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
And so you see how we're choosing these blue options? Those are those speech checks I was telling you about that you want to make sure you have either the charm or the intimidate points into. But these are all pretty easy, so as long as you have a little bit of paragon and a couple points, you should be good to go. But as you progress through the game, obviously some of the speed checks will be a little bit harder, so you do kind of want to pay attention to where you're at if you already know where the speech checks are going to be.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right. His name's Powell. Works the docks at the spaceport if he's still alive.
Let's get on out of here, guys.
I have to go.
Good luck.
And you see we got 4 more points of paragon there. He gave us a nice upgraded pistol as well as a combat sensor. So since I know this pistol's pretty good, I am going to go ahead and equip it. And if you double click, it does prompt you to transfer weapons upgrades up here if you have any equipped. Well, let's go ahead and get this door open, and we got another container to get into for some more free experience. As you can see, these first few containers here are easy. I promise it does get harder as you go into the game. That's why the experience is so low on these first few. But let's get back over here and start getting a look at Nihilus, because we heard that shot. Maybe he's still alive, maybe he's not.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
You need to be more
Sneaking up on
careful.
us like that nearly got you killed.
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
Tell me what happened.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
What about the beacon?
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I had been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
The Geth didn't find you?
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
Lucky for you.
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
Cole mentioned you, pal.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead. Doesn't matter now, does it?
Smuggling any weapons?
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Let it go, Williams.
Forget about him. He's not worth it.
You're lucky the commander's here, pal. Hand over those grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
You should make amends.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
Yeah, okay. There is something else I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
So we can do investigate again here, but he's really just going to tell us the same things as that last batch of survivors did, so we're going to get on back to the mission here.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
So he gave us some grenade upgrades. I'm going to go ahead, and you notice whenever you're pulling your weapons out, you cannot switch your weapons until it's completely fulled out. So we're going to swap over to that new pistol because we see on the mini-map there that we got some enemies approaching. So the shock troopers can go and put those little force fields up, and you have to shoot them down before you can go through there. We're going to go ahead and do overload, sabotage, and that'll basically take out most of these guys pretty quick for you. And then you can come behind here and see Cole didn't have anything else he was hiding. We'll come over here. We see this med kit. We'll go ahead and top Caden's health off. And then you will see that even though I picked a metagel up, it went to 0 because we were already on a -1. And you see the little cooldown there, so you don't just be spamming out the heal if you don't need it if you are in combat. We got some more ammo upgrades there, so we're going to go on in. I'm going to put those hammerhead rounds there and the combat sensor on the sniper rifle. And then we're going to go ahead and switch on over to it. Then we're just going to leave everybody else on what they're on. So you see we got quite a few Geth over here. Now something to bear in mind is that the further away these guys are from your weapon, the less damage it is going to do. That is a thing in this game. As you can see, the destroyer there took a lot more damage than any of the Geth that we've been fighting. The Geth destroyer and the Juggernauts are basically going to be your two strongest Geth enemies you're gonna face consistently outside of the Geth primes. So you can just sit here and let them poke their heads out as you continue to move up. You just take it nice and slow, and you really won't be in too much danger here, as it is that first level. It's not like the developers are trying to make this super difficult on you. It's just supposed to get you familiar with your combat. We're gonna go ahead and just run up here, and like I said, their abilities will go off faster than yours sometimes for your squad mates. If it's ever just not shooting, then you can just go and pop yours on down. But notice, even though we didn't see his overload go off, Caden's ability did go on cooldown. So you always, if you have the opportunity, want to wait for your cooldowns basically to come back up before the next little battle there, so that way you can have everything available and all your tools. But let's keep on moving with the mission here.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
So that appears to be the Prothean beacon that they found over here. We had to get rid of these bombs, because obviously we don't want them going off while we're still here, so let's get on into it. So you just walk on up.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
And you're just going to press space to go and interact. As you can see, we do have a little timer here. That is a thing here where you will have time-based objectives occasionally, so we'll want to be careful not to just be exposing ourselves here, because obviously these guys have a little bit of an angle on us. And we just didn't want to be running all across this catwalk, because we still got plenty of time. We got 4 whole minutes and we only got 3 more of these to find. If you do get shot while you're disarming these, I do believe it will interrupt you, and you will have to restart. But like I said, if you just kind of take your time here, you're not really going to be in too much danger. If you ever see those little red beams there, that is enemy sniper rifles. And if you ever have one that you know for a fact is zeroing in on you, especially on these higher difficulties, they deal a lot of damage. So you will want to be careful of that, because rockets and snipers will basically one-shot you on higher difficulties until you get better armor. Since we are getting closer to them here, we are going to swap off of our sniper rifle and get into our pistol. And you will notice that since that sniper is here, our radar is not working right now, so we don't know where they are, but we can see the outline right here. And now you can see that he is eliminated. We can see again. So if you're ever in a more open area where there's a little bit less cover, probably want to be a little bit more cautious about going on down there. And that is the last charge. 2 minutes 50 to spare. If you want to go explore over there, you can. I don't believe there are any objects for you to loot. It's just this crate right here. As you can see, another pistol, some more armor there. So the only person who can do the medium armor right now is going to be the soldier, which is Ashley. You saw we had some new upgrades that we haven't seen before, which is the improved sighting. This is usually the one that I will go and prioritize until you get some other ones later on down the line that will help with stability and accuracy at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. And then we'll look at this armor real quick to see if there's anything good for her. So you see, you can pick and choose what you want to prioritize. I try to go for a little bit of balance, but if you have something like this where it's doubling your protection and you're only losing that 10 on tech and biotic, it's really not that bad. And as you can see, you can just cycle on through there. So 1772. So my recommendation would be the Gladiator there. And let's go ahead and keep it moving. We're going to swap on back to our sniper rifle, since we are not going to be running around too much in this little area here. And you can do things like this where you can go and kind of peek around and get them like that, and kind of get the drop on them, so that way you're not aggroing those husks over there. Because you see how now they are coming after us, so you can just go right here, and now that they are off, you can just fire on away. What I recommend doing is coming right here, because you got a pretty decent thing right there, so you got a little bit of space. Then you go ahead and hit your overload, get your 2 for 1 there, hit the overload again right there, that way he's not getting them. Then do your throw, back up so that our shields don't get taken out. You see how now we have that extra room. We'll put Ashley's overkill on. And like I said, you can sabotage if you want. It really does not deal all that much damage. The one that you really want to be hitting them with to knock those shields down is the overload, because sabotage is just kind of to make their weapons overheat, so that way if you're ever in a battle and you're just taking tons of fire, you do not have to worry about getting hammered too bad. So over here you just have this one thing to loot. You can use these high caliber barrels if you want, but if you look at it, it'll show you that it's gonna increase how fast your weapons are overheating, so I usually stick away from them. There is the beacon there, and then, you know, just keeping your eyes out there. You see we got another storage locker, another crate right here, so we're gonna open all of those up, just trying to get as much gear as possible so that way we can get upgraded as soon as we can, because since we are playing on those higher difficulties, we gotta be mindful of that equipment. And so as you can see, Ashley took a little bit of health damage, but it is regenerating again because of her being on the soldier class. If Caden takes any, or if we do, it will not regenerate until we get one of those armor upgrades, which is going to be a first aid interface or a first aid exoskeleton. As you can see, just more weapon upgrades. You can see we can also reduce it to Omnigel if you ever just have been, you get locked out and you want to use the Omnigel to override it and skip that little minigame, you can. And last part of the mission over here, little Easter egg, if you walk up right here, instead of just going straight to the beacon, it will show you a little cutscene here.
My God. It's like someone dropped a bomb.
That must be where the Geth ship landed.
And let's go ahead and investigate this beacon, guys. See what all the hubbub's about.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up. Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Yes, big shiny stick. Let's walk towards it and see what happens. I'm sure nothing bad could happen.
Shepard!
No, don't touch him. Too dang.
And that is the end of the first mission on Eden Prime.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
So we've got a new character there that you saw there in the subtitles was called the Matriarch, so we'll see if we find anything else about her later on.
Dr. Chakwas, I think he's waking up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
I'm okay.
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
Don't blame yourself, Williams.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked you cold. The lieutenant and I carried you back here to the ship.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
Oh, I was dreaming about something, alright.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death? Destruction? Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
When all the readings look normal, I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I feel bad about Jenkins.
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Why is Williams here?
Chief Williams isn't part of the Normandy crew.
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Good.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
I'm pissed off about the Geth.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
What did you want to talk to me about, sir?
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
We've got nothing to hide, sir.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, And he hates humans.
He hates humans?
Why? He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
I'm not sure what I saw.
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
A warning.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What will they say?
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology, blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction, whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the Seekers from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
You're right.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
Understood, sir.
We prove Saren's gone rogue, and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Alright, well now that we're finished with the first mission, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.